Outside of Goodison Park, expectations weren't high for Everton prior to the season getting underway. Every year the Premiership seems to pan out as 4 different divisions: the Championship contenders, the European hopefuls, those going nowhere in particular, and the basement boys vying just to keep pace with the multi-million-pound hierarchy. Everton were widely predicted to be down there scrapping with the usual suspects. David Moyes, though, had other ideas. Arguably the best pound-for-pound signing of the close season was Everton's capture of Millwall's Australian midfielder Tim Cahill for an undisclosed fee. The only question was whether he could punch his weight in the Premiership. No worries, mate. The only other notable signing came with a Joe Royle seal of approval. Marcus Bent from Ipswich Town, a much-needed foil for Moyes' 4-1-4-1 formation that was destined to stifle most of the other Premiership clubs. But the major story of the summer was Wayne Rooney's prolonged departure to Manchester United. He eventually went on transfer deadline day. There are 2 sides to every story. Everton was strapped for cash. Rooney and his advisors wanted to enhance his profile immediately. He was taking care of business, up to £30 million worth of business. It's a famous story for Everton's chairman Bill Kenwright. From the Gladys Street terraces to Coronation Street and back again. Goodison's popular overlord.
It wasn't an easy summer, but you know, that really is yesterday. That is truly, truly yesterday. And Arsenal were a sensation, you know, and I've talked to David about it a lot, and neither of us think we were terrible that day, you know, not as terrible as the result sounds, and we had our moments.
Campbell couldn't get any flick on it, probably should have done. Reyes to Henry. Oh, beautiful bit of play. Here's Reyes. Henry's to his left. Reyes might go alone. It's fallen here for Henry. And Bergkamp in all sorts of must score and does. 1-0 to the champions. Great bit of vision from Bergkamp again. Lawrence in behind. Problems. And nobody to apply the finishing touch. Reyes had made a run to the near post. Ljungberg's come out to the left-hand side, and that's number 2 from Jose Antonio Reyes. A lot of players forward. One of them's Thierry Henry, and that's 3-0. Freddie Ljungberg. Amazing. Here's the new signing, Marcus Bent for Everton. Confident on the ball. Carsley tries to play a 1-2 with Gravison. Oh, that's clever. It's Carsley. They're going to get a goal here. And that's a very, very good goal indeed. Lee Carsley is the scorer for Everton.
Marcus Bent held it up, threatened to take Ashley Cole on a few times. Lovely little 1-2 between Carsley and Gravison. What a ball.
Henry. Low and hard. Oh, Martin hasn't held on to it. And off the underside of the bar and in the end by Perez. If the points weren't secure before, they are now.
Everybody will look at us and say, oh yeah, they looked like relegation material on that day. But we went there and tried to have a game against Arsenal. That was maybe the feeling we had, that I went there and played 2 up front and tried to beat Arsenal at home in the opening day. Arsenal were just back off a tremendous win in the Charity Shield against Manchester United. We're on a tremendous run of unbeaten games. So, you know, it was tough for us, but nevertheless, you know, maybe that was the thing that did kickstart us.
I was at the first game of the season, the Arsenal game, which, and I've got to say, I was with the sceptics. I mean, the way Arsenal played and the result, I thought, I feared for the worst, but I've got to say, full credit to David, his staff and the players. They've been fantastic.
The Arsenal game, it worried a lot of people, I think, and a lot of people were rubbing their hands together and maybe thinking their predictions were right. But Arsenal are a fantastic side, and they've done it to a lot of teams this season. So we sort of just put it behind us and took the good things out of the game and went into the next game and didn't really look back, really.
So the critics had enough to substantiate their relegation propaganda. According to them, Everton's Premiership status was already hanging in the balance. Or maybe not. Newly promoted Crystal Palace proved all season they were no pushovers, but Everton opened their account in style.
Johnson able to get the shot away. Routledge now. Mesmerising run by Routledge, and he's got the cross in, and Crystal Palace have taken the lead. It's Mark Hudson. And Campbell again has put the goalkeeper under pressure. That's a penalty kick. Everton have their equaliser, and it's down to a mistake by Julian Speroni. Osman, bent, magnificent save by Speroni. Away by Hudson. And as far as Gravison. Here's bent. Gravison again. Wonderful goal. Sensational goal by Thomas Gravison. On target from the penalty spot in the first half, and on target now with a wonderful shot. Is bent, surely. Good save by the goalkeeper again, twice now in this second half. He has denied Marcus Bent. Naismith is in big trouble. He's not even looking at the card, he knows that he's off. Gravison. Flag has stayed down, Bent is onside, it's Marcus Bent, and that's a third for Everton.
The weight of the pass, perfect. The Palace thought he was offside. Great first touch, gets it away from his body, draws the keeper and then tucks it underneath him.
Obviously we went to Palace, went a goal down, and you know, it really could have gone either way. Stubbs' kick one off the line, that would have put them 2-0 up, and then before you know it, Tommy Gravison took over, and you know, the rest is history.
Everton's midfield made a highly productive start, and it continued against West Brom. Enter Leon Osman, who spent part of last season on loan to Derby County. He was involved in a successful relegation battle. He didn't want another.
Bent at the near post, Kilpatrick heads it on, right across the area. What a wonderful start for Everton! Another one of the Everton youngsters, not Wayne Rooney, but Leon Osman gives the Blues the lead.
Thomas Gravison with the long throw, the flick on, poor marking from West Brom's point of view.
Weeding delivers on! West Brom equalise within minutes. Took up Duncan Ferguson's shirt then as he tried to rise for the ball. It's Carsley. Oh, he takes a slight deflection. Osman's trying to claim it, and they can settle the argument later. But Everton are back in the lead.
Having done the necessary against two of the promoted sides, Everton's recovery would be severely tested at Old Trafford. Tim Cahill, after serving his country in the Olympic Games, finally made his Everton debut.
What a dream debut that could have been. Bent moving in here. He's put Sylvester in a bit of trouble. Might drop here for Osman. Worth a try. Picked up here by Richardson. Good play by Richardson. Sahar in there. Oh, what a chance. And what a miss. Here's Smith. Good run from Smith. Oh, and he's unlucky as well. Good work denying Alan Smith. And Scholes is on this one.
After making and taking a point at Old Trafford, 24 hours later, Wayne Rooney moved there, much to the frustration of many fans.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. It was only in those final few days that David and I actually said to each other, he's going to go. We must have had dozen to 20 meetings with Wayne's representatives. And in the main, they were positive. In the main, they were. It was looking like we were going to complete an extension, but it wasn't to be.
Wayne had made his mind up that he wanted to go, and Manchester United came in for him. You know, it was difficult. It was only a case of trying to negotiate the best deal we could.
You'll never hear me say anything other than what a footballer about Wayne Rooney. What a footballer. But it was out of necessity, and you know, sometimes out of necessity, great things happen.
August had yielded a total of 7 points, and the start of the season showed considerable promise compared to all the predictions. After a Premiership time-out to accommodate an international week, Everton were back in Manchester to face the unpredictable City, and it proved to be a day of mixed emotions for Tim Cahill.
James out to claim, doesn't get there, and Bent is denied. It was a wonderful reaction save. Now Cahill there certainly led with his arm. It's yellow for Tim Cahill then. In by Hibbert, driven in by Hibbert, and Cahill has given Everton the lead. Tim Cahill's first goal for Everton on only his second appearance in the Premiership. And the cheers have turned to frowns, and Tim Cahill has been ordered off for his celebration.
I think things like that, it's just spur of the moment. There's so much emotion and energy going through your body that the only way you can express it is by just going crazy, and that's a massive moment in my career. It was my first goal for Everton. It was such a big moment. I don't think we'd been Man City in a while, and it just broke the ice for me. I knew that I'd get my goals, but to get it that soon in starting for Everton was a massive just achievement for myself.
Unlike Everton, Middlesbrough had yet again invested heavily during the close season. It was still early days, but a good start for both Steve McLaren and David Moyes.
Can Everton make this one pay? Kilban, Bent in the centre. Looking for Bent, surely. Well, Schwarzer got across, but Bent will feel he should have done better. On towards Kilban. Terrific stop by Schwarzer. There was power in that header. Now Gravison will go long looking for Bent. Perfectly weighted ball, Bent. Schwarzer denies him. Here's Bent playing off the shoulder of Southgate. He's away from the veteran. Bent. And it's gone in off Kudru.
Gareth Southgate gets a little bit too tight. Can't match the pace. Kudru trying to get across. And from what we've seen so far in this match, it's no more than this Everton side deserve.
Leon Osman benefiting for some sloppy Middlesbrough defending. Fine effort from the Everton youngster. Late pressure in stoppage time. Here come Everton though, and this will seal it. No, it won't.
Well, Marcus Bent came in with us, you know, knowing that we still had at the time, we had Wayne in the club and we had Thomas Rosiński at the club. So Marcus was coming in to give us a little bit more. We knew that he could play centre forward or he could play wide right if needed. But he came in and I don't think he started the first game, and I think after that then he established himself in the team. And I think especially in the opening first half of the season, we needed him, and his pace is exceptional, his goals were flowing, and he was giving us something new at that time.
In the Carling Cup, lower league opposition had proved slippery for Everton in the past, and it was no easy ride at Bristol City.
Osman once more, McFadden ahead of him. Watson making tracks to join in the attack. Penalty given. It came off Danny Cole's hand. Innocuous looking ball into the box, but it did strike Coles, and the referee on the spot pointed to the spot. Duncan Ferguson slides it in, but only just. by Naismith. They've got a man free, and it's as simple as that. I don't know how long he's been on the field, but Chadwick makes his mark instantly, and Bristol City's Achilles heel of defending set pieces strikes once more. Quickly back in action with Murray right side, drills it in, and it's gone all the way in. I think Roberts may well have got the last touch. Roberts now. Forced wide, kept his balance well. 2 in a couple of minutes, no doubt about this one. Leroy Lita, the scorer. Jamie Smith in clumsily, and it's just another penalty for Everton. Saved by Phillips, McFadden with the follow-up. Brilliant goalkeeping. Penalty shootout. Murray first for Bristol City. Scores with ease. Plenty of experience. But Steve Phillips is having a fine night. He's missed it. Tim Cahill for Everton. Careful how you celebrate. Heffernan next to go. Alan Stubbs. It's 2-2. Here he comes. It's paid off. He knows how to take penalties. And scores with ease. Penalty taker number 5 for Bristol City. He's hit the crossbar and he's opened the door for Everton. Lee Carsley puts Everton through. 4-3 on penalties after it ended 2-2 on the night. The Premiership side are through.
Having missed the Middlesbrough game through suspension, Tim Cahill's shirt was neatly tucked in against Portsmouth, as was the winning goal.
Well, Watson's peeling in! Oh, he got round the back, but he put his shot just wide. He's got a lot of room to work with here. Oh, that's a great effort. Still not over, it's Yakubu. Well, Nigel Martin making the point that they showed Nigel Quasi far too much space. And they got away with it. It's picked out Gravison here. This is a good run, Bent in the middle. Oh, and that's amazing, how did they get away with that? Just made a run here, might try one. Fairy tale stuff. Still back. Well, Bent has space here. Can Bent use it? No is the answer. Cahill up, and Cahill scores. The shirt stays on this time, but the Aussie has done it once more for Everton on the road. Ghosting in from the back and showing his real aerial threat.
I think by the end of September we had won 3 or 4 games by then, and we had started to get a decent points total going, which you were saying, you know, barring a disaster, you know, we should make sure we're not relegated, and that's really where everybody was pitching us. And let's be fair, we might have been pitching ourselves around about that area, but come the end of September we'd started to get enough wins which were beginning to suggest that we probably wouldn't be at the bottom end of the league.
The end of September and Everton had produced their best ever start to a Premiership campaign, and there was a new face in the Chief Executive's office. Keith Wyness joined the club from Aberdeen, and he promised to back the newly crowned Manager of the Month, David Moyes. 1-0 was becoming a popular scoreline, but not against Tottenham Hotspur. In fact, quite the opposite.
Well, Marcus Bent, he's going to latch onto this. Could be promising for Everton. Osman, Kilban have got themselves in the box, and Bent is still going. What a run! No penalty though. Gravison with a long throw and a good one too. Oh! And Cahill has seen his header come off the post. Everton are in the mood. It's Tim Cahill. Lovely cross. Osman nearly scored, and Marcus Bent has hoisted it over, but Robinson to the rescue. Robbie Keane goes shortish to Davis, gets it back. Keane's cross. Oh, and it's in! Tomorrow has put Tottenham in front. Here's Gravison. Osman. He turns, he shoots. Oh, it's up the post. And Tomorrow has beaten Kilban to it.
Surrender isn't a word in David Moyes' vocabulary. He just doesn't tolerate it. A belief that was becoming quite apparent in the players as well.
There's Cahill, not a lot of room to work in, but he comes away with the ball and squirms his way past the defender and tries to find Kilban. It comes out to Bent. Ravison's launch. Ferguson makes himself known in there. Osman! The winner! 1-0 to Everton yet again. Well, he'll settle for that.
Hurled into the middle. Ferguson makes a nuisance of himself. Osman is first to the knockdown, turns, short little backlift and fires it into the corner of the net.
Norwich City, Carrow Road, the scene of the Premiership's most bizarre rallying call. On this occasion, though, the last word went to Big Duncan.
This is Cahill. Oh, he's done well, Tim Cahill. Must be a goal, and it is for Kilban. Really well worked by Everton. Nicely worked here by Everton, and it's Marcus Bent, got the room, and has got the goal. The former Ipswich Town man returns to East Anglia and silences the Norwich City fans. Svensson eager, finding a good pass here for McKenzie, who's got the legs of Stubbs. Leo McKenzie scores! Through the legs of Nigel Martin. Oh, a decent header, and it's a goal! Damien Francis. Norwich's comeback is complete here. This is Gravison. The ball here for Watson. Ferguson! Goal for Everton! He's fed off crosses like that all his career, Duncan Ferguson, and he wasn't going to make any mistake.
David Moyes was delighted to play host when his former club Preston North End arrived at Goodison in the third round of the Carling Cup. Deepdale will always have a place in his heart, but this was not the time for sentiment.
That's a brave piece of goalkeeping by Gavin Ward. But Duncan, always a danger. I'd be surprised if Carsley fancied this one. Oh, he certainly did fancy it, all right. And Everton have the edge in the cup tie. Brilliant free kick. Just away from Gavin Ward's despairing right arm. Plenty up here for Preston. It's interesting, there's a two-hoo. Mwene, it's in! No, the whistle blows. And the frustration of the flag for Mwene and for Preston North End. Kilban takes over. Osman trying to find Bent. Get a second bite with Osman. Bent's lurking. Here's Bent! 2-0. And that'll be enough to secure Everton's passage. Great work by Osman. Never gave it up, and Bent slotting it home just after he's come on.
It was a big draw for me and a big draw for everybody in Preston to get Preston coming to Goodison. We knew it would be a big crowd, and it was that night. And in the end, you know, we beat Preston, but there was periods of the game where it was tough for us. But you know, it was an important night for me because it was my old club, and you always want to do well against one of your old teams.
Although European football was already being suggested in certain quarters, Aston Villa were not about to be overawed.
Hendry! Oh! Special!
This boy is in such a run of form from the middle of the park, scoring goals.
So flag stays down. Weir drives on. Now Bent! Oh! Stupendously taken by Marcus Bent!
And Marcus Bent, man in form, scored in midweek, scores again, waits for Sorensen to go down and just dinks it over him into the roof of the net.
Bent, Osman, time, space, goal! Goal! Wow! How on earth did that not go in?
Come the end of October, and Everton were streets ahead of those pre-season forecasts. The manager kept harping on about a position of safety. The real pessimists were predicting an imminent collapse, while others were tentatively starting to check the validity of their passports. Back in the 60s, Everton were regarded as the richest club in the country. Bankrolled by the head of the Littlewoods Corporation, Sir John Moores, they were known as the Mersey Millionaires. Almost the Chelsea of yesteryear. Next stop, Stamford Bridge. The Premiership trailblazers, and two men already in contention for Manager of the Year, David Moyes and Jose Mourinho.
Chelsea in second against Everton in third. How good does that sound to the Everton fans? Everton making moves of their own here. It's Kevin Kilban now looking to whip it in, and he does just that! And Cahill is foiled by Cech. Gravison getting jeered as he goes across to take this corner. And nobody picked up Leon Osman, who sent it in! Oh, and it's headed wide by Stubbs. Cahill crunching in then to Carvalho. And now Robin chasing this, and suddenly it opens up just like that for Chelsea! He's done it! And it had to be him! Ariane Robin is the man of the moment!
The London scene isn't everyone's cup of tea, and that certainly includes Everton. The Carling version turned into the old perennial nightmare at the nemesis of Highbury. It wasn't so much the bogeyman this time, but Arsenal's young guns. Everton's priorities had changed though, so we'll forget most of the Carling Cup exit. The title was always going to be a bridge too far, but the Champions League was in sight, a target which gathered further momentum in the Midlands.
I actually think a bit of contact, that would have been in. Instead, it's come off Mario Milko.
Now Gravison's corner, and Taylor came and got a fist on it. And Carsley! Somehow off the line, and the whistle has gone. It may have been handled, was it? It's Muzzy, is it? He's gone. Birmingham down to 10 men. Mike Taylor facing the penalty to be taken by Thomas Gravison with a quarter of the fixture to go. Rolled it in, and Everton have another lead away from home.
What a way for David Moyes to celebrate the signing of a new contract. Only Chelsea could boast a better defensive record at this stage of the season. Everton had only conceded 11, and 4 of those came on the opening day against Arsenal.
It's been a hard team to break down. Not sure what the stats are, but you know, games where we've gone in front, I think it's only one that we've not gone on to win, and that's a tremendous thing.
If you've got a back four, don't trust your goalkeeper, then you're struggling. And they look, every time I've seen him play, they look as if they trust him. He knows what he's doing, he's been around a long time, and I think he keeps himself reasonably fit and knows what he's doing. I think the gulf between him and lots of the other goalkeepers in the Premier League is vast, purely because he knows what he's doing, and he's dealt with things in the past that the goalkeepers now don't have to deal with.
Stubbs and Weir, they've done excellent. You know, they've not got an abundance of pace, but they read the game well, and they've done exceptionally well. And then they've had either Pistone, they've had Watson, they've had Hibbett. Hibbett's a very, very good defender. and they've all done well.
The Moyes blueprint was proving highly effective, as was the introduction of Duncan Ferguson if time was running out. Fulham on the receiving end this time, 1-0 again.
Osman into the box, there's the header! Oh, and Cahill knows maybe he should have done better. It's the first real chance of the game. Another attack by Everton, bent, oh it might fall for Leon Osman, and he's grazed the crossbar with that one. Everton really have the taste for it now. Kilban skips in field and finds Bent. Bent fancies a shot, it was a great one too, and it was another good save from Mark Crossley. Here's Graveson's delivery, there's a flick there, it was a brilliant save, Ferguson! It's in, and Everton lead! Third goal of the season for Duncan Ferguson, an instinctive header.
And that victory equalled the total number of wins for last season.
Getting the wins against Fulham certainly kept us going, and again it was another milestone. It was as many wins as we had the year before. So we continued to sort of knock things off. People said, you know, we hadn't done this is what had happened in years gone past. But I felt that we put a few of them to bed this year.
Incredibly, Everton had only been in the lead at half-time once. That was at Norwich, a testament to their staying power. And that was again very evident at Newcastle after a Craig Bellamy opener triggered another second-half power play by the Blues.
Osman wants it. Bent, looking to spin, brought down, free kick, dangerous. It's Carsley, and it's a goal! Oh yes, Lee Carsley with the equaliser for Everton with a peach of a free kick.
Gibbons got no chance because the ball comes over the wall, it's dipping into that far corner. Keeper's a mere spectator, and Everton do it yet again. We talked about his diligence and character. David Moyes is absolutely delighted with his team.
Robert. Muscled out of it by Everton. Now then, they've got Gravesson. He hits the space in behind, and Bent's got him behind here and is surely going to score, is he? Oh, he's missed it. The goalkeeper, Shea Given, had made a bad decision to come for it. Bent rounded him but couldn't finish it.
For most Evertonians, Christmas had already come early going into December. The festive period can often make or break a season, but Everton's grip on Champions League football was looking very firm. The Northwest derby at Goodison against Bolton was a cracker, and for a change, one goal wouldn't be enough. A terrific finale sent the Goodison faithful into raptures.
Pedersen over on the far side. It's towards Pedersen. Really clever pass by Kevin Davis. And Giannakopoulos it is who's come across to take this corner. JD is forward. Martin's in trouble. And so too are Everton. It's Kevin Davis. Pistoni. And it's Ferguson! Oh, he scored! Magnificent!
That's a wonderful ball in from Pistoni. Back across Jääskeläinen, who managed to get a glove to it, but there was too much power on it.
Davis is the option again, very deep in the penalty area. He's won the header! Oh, he scored again! It's another headed goal. Davis has his second, and Bolton are ahead again. It's going to be Gravesson! Gravesson does lash it into the back of the net.
There's nothing that Jääskeläinen can do about that. He's powered into the net there.
Set plays have been so important in this game so far. Are they to determine a winner for us? Duncan Ferguson was the decoy, and it was Weir who was arriving at the back post. And Gravison has gone across. It's in that corner that the goal scoring started in the first half. Is it finish? Osman with a ball in! It's an own goal! And it's Jaidi who has sliced it past Jääskeläinen. And Everton, against the odds again, are ahead.
Well, both sides have presented so much threat from set pieces, it's little surprise that it's given us a 5th goal in this match. Osman doesn't even get a clean strike in this, but there's enough pace on it that Jaidi can't adjust his feet quickly enough.
We looked as if we were not going to win that game. We ended up winning it, and ironically enough, the following day they had the Northwest Awards dinner, and David Moyes had to present Sam Allardyce with sort of the manager of the season for the Northwest, which was quite ironic. And I remember Sam's face at that moment in time. He knew how important that result was to both clubs, and I felt that was a significant point in Everton's season.
To any Evertonian, the feel-good factor doesn't come any better than this. David Moyes was looking for his first win over Liverpool, whose new manager, Rafael Benitez, was facing the heat of his first ever Merseyside derby. The highest stakes in a league meeting between the two for nearly 20 years, and it didn't disappoint.
And could this let Thomas Gravison in here? He's running into an ocean of red, and Marcus Bent's pace is another thing. He's done brilliantly there as Marcus Bent. Can he find the cross? Cahill! What a great chance for the Blues. Everton have come away with it here, and it's a good ball as well. Cahill may fall for Marcus Bent. Cahill gets back to his feet. Leon Osman back out to Lee Carsley. Well, he's deserved that. Every ounce of that he's deserved, because he's had a fantastic game. Brought into the game to keep Steven Gerrard quiet, and who'd have thought he'd be a goal hero? 22 minutes remain of this game, and Lee Carsley could have won it for the Blues. There's the celebration of David Moyes. He can't believe it, but I tell you what, Lee Carsley has been the unsung hero in this game so far. A historic Merseyside derby win for Everton. The first under David Moyes' reign, the first since September 1999, and the first derby goal for Lee Carsley.
11 points clear of Liverpool, Everton were now amongst the favourites for a coveted Champions League place. It wasn't just the fans who were in dreamland.
The magical moment when Cars, of all people, Cars to score the goal on the ground, the goal. I don't have to say what goal, the goal on the ground, and when they all jumped on top of him.
It's like when the Americans were on the Iwo Jima and they took Mount Suribachi, you know, putting the stars and stripes. It was an Ira Hayes, the American Indian fella, and he's up there with the flag, and that was just like a mountain of bodies with the lads on, you know, and that was super duper, that, yeah, crikey.
Carsley, goal. Need to say anything else?
To actually get the win over Liverpool, and it being at home, you know, it's obviously great to beat Liverpool away, but to beat them at home in front of your fans is, you know, is a little bit special.
The result was the main thing. I mean, it was a massive result for us. It was you know, it was a big game, and it was something that we can look back on and say, yeah, well, the pressure was on us then, and we done it. So. You know, it was a great day all in all. It was just a good day.
Everybody was saying that maybe for the first time Everton were going into the game favourites, which I found hard to believe with the acquisitions that Liverpool had made this season, that we were getting talked in those terms. But nevertheless, it was a rip-roaring day at Goodison, and one I think I'll remember probably as one of my main highlights this season.
The same highs weren't matched at Blackburn, but Nigel Martyn's 9th clean sheet ensured further progress was made.
Save at last, it's Friedel. He was
Great
nearly
turn.
shocked at his near post.
It was a great turn, came off a Blackburn head, but he gets his shot in, it's hitting the target.
Dickoff, lovely ball, it's Reed, great save, Gallagher! Oh, it's been disallowed. The flag is up on the near side.
Come Boxing Day, Everton were established as heavyweights in the Premiership. No one relished the trip to Goodison, and the Blues were looking for a win that would put them on 40 points.
And it's there! And it's Cahill who gets the header!
Fantastic ball in from Graveson's delivery, can be hit and miss. That one was definitely a hit. And Cahill making the run from slightly deeper that he's been making all season, got across the defender and the goalkeeper. David James, no chance.
And Elka goes with a shot. It's Watson, comes out to right, Phillips. Cleared away by Kilban, now Macken has it. Heads up from Fowler! Well, Robbie Fowler will enjoy that goal. Here's Hibbert. Tempo is raised a little by the home side. As the cross goes in, it's come out to Gravesen to try and chip it up for Bent! Everton back in front.
Hibbert makes good ground, not the best first touch. Gets on, ball into the box, not the best, but distant. There's his first mistake. Have a look at that for the ball. Stands up to the far post. Wonderful, wonderful header for Bent, but Gravesen for me was purely the architect there. Fantastic little chip ball, just begging to be headed home.
Here's Distan. Hibbert makes the challenge, then Bent goes in, and the whistle has gone. And that's another incident that sparked a flare-up. Nguai involved in the thick of things straight away, moments after coming on.
And here we see the incident. Good run from Distan, good tackle from Hibbert coming across. Bent just coming up to clear up. Just coming in to clear up with his right foot, and that's a terrible challenge.
Oh, it's red. What a short presence on the pitch. Nguai sent off for the late challenge on Bent.
The gaffer knew that I got quite a lot of goals at Millwall, and that's what I like to do as a player, but to get them when I have in such big games and things, I'm really, really pleased. But I'm just happy, as I said, to be playing a part in such a big setup and to be a part of this success.
The abolition of capital punishment doesn't seem to apply to Everton. In seasonal mood after a run of 7 games undefeated, the Toffees had 2 successive trips to London, and the goal difference took a hammering.
Well, he doesn't give up on lost causes, Marcus Bent, and almost profited from one here. Good work from Kylie. It's all over the place. And Widerson saves Charlton's Bacon. I don't know if there was a hint of handball in here. Certainly looked that way. Lucky escape for Charlton, to say the least. Header from Weir. Still got away, and it's in. It's El Karkouri for Charlton. Testing one, Riderson.
Mendes. Advanced by Keane. Marnie is there! Oh, what a start to Dean Marnie's goal-scoring career for Tottenham! Glanced on by Canute for Ziegler! A very sweet finish from Reto Ziegler, and it's the youngsters who are doing it for Spurs today. Bent for Cahill. One snap of magic, and it's Tim Cahill who brings Everton back into this game.
And this young man, Cahill, does ever so well. Just picks his runs there. Bent never gives up 2 attempts. And with the technique of the volley there on his right foot, putting it in the back of the net before England #1 can see it.
Canute just popping away from Yobo. Gently introducing Pamaro. Taken touch by Yobo. It's come to Marnie. It's Cahill's touch. Canute. Pedro Mendes. A cracking goal from Spurs. Well, this fixture against Everton is the first of 3 against sides in the top 4 of the table. Everton coming, Manchester United, Chelsea as well. As Marnie finds Keane. And it was only a matter of time before Robbie Keane got in on the act. And this is a young man who certainly has this afternoon. Marnie scoring one, setting up one. Oh, what a goal! Dean Marnie has arrived in the Premiership. Leon Osman, Cahill, neatly picks out McFadden, and Everton have a late consolation. Well, for James McFadden, it's his first goal for the club since he's moved south of the border.
Good ball there by Cahill, and what a finish that was, McFadden. Consolation, but it's still nice to score a goal.
The plan for the New Year hangover cure came with the arrival of James Beattie. A club record transfer fee of £6.5 million was paid, and 3 more points at the expense of Portsmouth arrived.
Taken by Gravison, then at the back post. It's the skipper. And hits his first of the season. Well, he's waited a long time for that, and he's threatened from, more often than not, shooting distances. But that is a real pleasing time for the skipper. He missed the Spurs game through injury, and any striker would be proud of that one. And he beat his defender as well. What a goal! What a goal from Yakubu! Yakubu has put a sledgehammer right into the back of Richard Wright's net and levelled the game up at 1-1. On to Alan Stubbs. There might be one last attack here. Taylor's clearance. Will it be a shot on? And the roof very nearly did come off. There'll be complaints all over the pitch as to how much injury time would be played, but who cares? Because Everton have got a late winner. David Moyes ran almost the full length of the pitch to celebrate that goal, but Leon Osman stayed cool under pressure. A left foot samurai from him, and it's another late drama at Goodison Park. Some would feel sorry for Portsmouth at the way they've defended, but Everton have had them on the rope so many times prior to this, and what a true strike it was from Osman. You've seen him do this time and time again. He got everything behind that shot, and it's every inch worthy of a winner. David Moyes.
The FA Cup gave James Beattie his first start in an Everton shirt, and he made an instant impression, linking up with Leon Osman to set up the opening goal at Plymouth Argyle.
Superb opening goal, Premier League class written all over it, tucked away by Leon Osman, who had all the time in the world. It's probably their best attack so far, and their first meaningful attack. And how coolly he plotted it and slotted it. Pistone with the throw for Everton. Well done by Kilban. Drop for McFadden in that tight area. He's got all the tricks in the world, this man. It's 2 for Everton. It's a brilliant piece of football. And it's James McFadden, yet another young Everton player with the extra little bit of class. Cut dreams are being washed away here on the south coast already for Plymouth Argyle. The trickery in tight areas of McFadden and the coolness to slot it under the keeper, and Everton have gone 2 up inside 2 minutes. And a word to Yobo from David Moyes. Half chance here perhaps. Yes! Cup tie is on because Plymouth have got on the score sheet through Bjarni Gudjonsson. Chadwick, he's broken free of the cover. Can he finish it here? Yes! It's a marvellous night for Everton's youngsters, and Nicky Chadwick may have put it beyond all doubt now. It's his first FA Cup goal. It just bobbled free to him. He continued to run. He got through the challenge of Coughlin, and the whole length of home park opens up for him. He just keeps going, and he certainly has the nerve to finish it well.
So with the second half of the season underway, Middlesbrough were emerging as strong contenders for a Champions League place. A result for Everton would really prove a point at the Riverside Stadium.
Kilban on off the bar and over from Carsley. Followed by Deriva and Nemeth working more in a central position, and Zenden gets behind Hibbett. The goalkeeper's come, and Badabine Zenden will take the credit, although there was a touch right on the line. It's his goal, and Middlesbrough have counter-attacked. Since again, Middlesbrough are rather playing a dangerous game here. They're certainly not resting on their laurels. They're being forced back, but they're playing more in their own half than they would want. Schwartz has lost it, and it's hit the post. So close, and James Beattie wonders quite how that stayed out.
Agonisingly onto the post and out.
Bent has been leading the way here, goals-wise. Hibbert's cross, Ferguson, Cahill. Everton equalise, and there's a bit of justice about that.
They lift it for, now it's about the second ball. Who's going to be first to react? We know Cahill's got a threat from the midfield, and he's the man who sticks it home.
The next game may have been at Goodison Park, but there was still no escaping the London Hoodoo.
Flick on from Bent, and cleared off the line from Weir's header.
Very, very close to first goal. Danny Murphy doing his defensive side of things here. Goal line clearance looked a certain goal.
Stoney, can he raise the volume levels? Bent's header, well, he almost did that. The play is concentrated around that Everton penalty area once more. Solid header away, goes straight back to Ryderson. And now Holland. Oh, what a goal from Matty Holland! Weir, Osman. Beattie made a good run. James Beattie, oh, it's off the post! Beattie there made a great run.
Yeah, so unlucky here. It's a lovely strike as well, very accurate. Looks in all the ways. Very, very unlucky.
Sunderland were the next visitors in the fourth round of the Cup, and James Beattie got off the mark.
That's a good bit of five-a-side football there from Everton. Kilban in the usual position, trying to beat the full-back. In goes McFadden! And it was a finely worked goal from Everton. And McFadden gets the goal he's been waiting for at Goodison Park. Kilban gets the good cross in early. And it was a great touch from McFadden in between two defenders and on the goalkeeper's near post. He was always going to struggle to get near to it. Men behind the ball really well, and the opposition are attacking. It's a great turn by Beattie. Is this his chance? He'll take that all right. A heavy deflection from James Beattie, but it's his first Everton goal, and in front of the Evertonians is always a happy place to get it. Strikers will take any goal, and that will not go down as an OG if Beattie's got anything to do with it. Driven, shot with his right foot, heading into the arms of Thomas Muir. Collins, left foot across from him, as playing for a push. As Arca fizzes one in, great save by Richard Wright, and that is his strongest point as a goalkeeper. He is a good shot stopper, as Richard Wright. Short one is for Pistone. Osman on the edge of the box. McFadden sits one up, and it's a great header. There he is again with the late arrival. There he is again with a goal against Sunderland. Everton 3, Sunderland 0. And the appreciation of the Sunderland fans for their players is quite clear. Everton are looking for a fourth, though they've not finished yet. Chadwick with the shot, it's a good effort on goal. And he had very little time to pick his shots for a player who has waited for his chance so patiently.
I felt we needed to look for a young, bigger striker who I felt could lead the line, but also had a goal-scoring record. James Beattie, I think, had scored over 18 goals in the 2 previous seasons for Southampton. He had been selected in the England squad, and I felt that from our point of view that was the best available to us, and his goals would help us during the second half of the season.
By the end of January, there had been more comings and goings at Goodison. Kevin Campbell moved out to help West Bromwich Albion's relegation cause, and he was successful. When Real Madrid come calling, it's hard not to answer. Thomas Graveson's outstanding form caught the eye of the Galacticos, and the Blues decided they couldn't stand in his way. Mikel Arteta was signed on loan from Real Sociedad to fill the void left by Thomas Graveson, and he quickly settled in on Merseyside. And the evergreen Nigel Martin put pen to paper of a new contract.
Feel fit and strong and able to do it. I mean, if I didn't feel right, I'd be the first to say. But you know, I do feel very fit. You know, I'll keep myself fit during the summer, and I'll be looking forward to you know, another fight with Richard for the jersey.
The league table still made fantastic reading for all concerned for Everton. The visit of Norwich ended with a familiar scoreline, the 8th 1-0 win of the season, with a little help from the Canaries.
McFadden. Oh, McFadden with a cross. Marcus Bent, and it's been scrambled in by Duncan Ferguson. Ferguson torments Norwich yet again. 4 goals in the last 3 games against them after Green had made the initial save.
That's a wonderful ball in from James McFadden, and this time there is pace in the ball in, and it makes it so much easier for the player attacking the ball. Bent up early, it's a free header, wonderful stop from Green, and then it's anyone's. And Duncan Ferguson with the instinct, the penalty box instinct, to get in there first.
All eyes were on the return of James Beattie at Southampton, and he didn't take long to show the home fans what they were missing.
Oh, and the header should never have been allowed, and the loose ball is whacked into the net, and James Beattie has taken 3.5 minutes to score again at Southampton, but this time for Everton, it's his first English Premier League goal for the club.
It's a great save from Smith. Who's the first man to react? Better believe it's James Beattie, desperate to get his first league goal for his new club.
Quasi, then forward by Carsley to Beattie! And that's a good save by Smith. But the header did come in, and it does provide the equaliser, and it is, for the 5th time in 6 games, Peter Crouch. Back flick for Prutton, and now Camera again. Henri Camera! Oh, he deserves that! He marks his home debut for the Saints with a very sprightly goal. Ferguson to Marcus Bent. Southampton's lead is threatened, and Bent shoots and scores! It's the same old story. Late Everton goals, Southampton despair.
Everton retain possession, go to the under end of the pitch through Nigel Martin. And from the acutest of angles, yet again Southampton, having worked so hard, having done so much. Davenport gets beaten again on the outside. Let's credit Marcus Bent, because he blasts through and then it's just about his power.
It's harder to win more games as the season goes on because there's so much pressure on you. I think we were 4th in September, and the biggest thing for us was just to maintain it, and we were getting knocked down week in, week out. But the biggest thing about that is every time we got asked to step up to the plate, we did.
Everton's new signing would make the headlines once again against Chelsea, but this time for the wrong reasons.
Great tribute to Everton's resurgence this season, but this should be regarded as such an important fixture. Mike Riley having to come across and intervene.
Everton players are trying to say that Gallagher stuck an arm out, maybe an elbow. He's actually ran into the back of...
Well, technically it is violent conduct.
Well, he is, headbutted him, yeah.
And he's brandished the card, and Beattie is off. Cole. Paulo Ferreira. Oh, off the bar and turned in by Eidur Gudjohnsen.
The FA Cup visit of Manchester United was billed as Rooney's return, and it was a good day for his new employers.
Takes on his first player. Can he do the second? Ronaldo. So exciting with the ball at his feet. It's a fine cross as well. Teed up fantastically. Arteta. He's got a hard task, but he's picked out Marcus Bent here. And he should have scored. Well, that is by far and away the clearest cut opportunity that Everton have had. And Mikel Arteta picked it out on the eye of a needle. Out came Roy Carroll. And Marcus Bent, who was just onside. You see Osman there right on the goalkeeper's stance. It's towards Joseph Yobo. Well, he's yet to score a goal in an Everton shirt. And he really should get more from set pieces like that. Scholes is looking most likely here. And here is Paul Scholes. It's through the wall. It took a deflection. And it's Ronaldo the second time of asking.
Resilience and spirit had been a key factor in the season's success, but there was quality there too at Aston Villa, and a genuine performance of class was there for all to see.
Cahill will seek them. Bent nearly there, and Osman is. Everton have the lead through Leon Osman.
This time it's Tim Cahill out wide, cuts back on his favoured right foot, and as he cuts back he hits a vicious curling cross. They miss it at the near post, Bent misses it, but this time J. Lloyd Samuel's not there to clear. Jemba's just caught napping, a little bit of ball watching, but that's a fine poacher's goal from Osman.
Everton looking to hold on, or indeed increase on this one-goal lead, and notch up their first away win for 3 months. It's a determined start by Moore, though, who looks for Hitzelsberger. Surely it is. What a start to this second half by Aston Villa. Whatever David O'Leary said at half-time worked wonders, and it's Norberto Solano to level it up. Sailed up by Bent, and it's in. Tim Cahill levelling it up.
Bent comes short from Hibbert, turns, he knows that Tim Cahill's going to be in the box. He gets off the back of Milberg, up he goes for the header. 5 yards out, another goal for Tim Cahill.
Hitzelsberger's given it to Bent. Clever hold-up play from the Everton striker in towards Cahill. Still it's Cahill. Oh, lovely from Everton. It's 3-1. What a tremendous move, and Leon Osman has his second, and surely now the Merseysiders have the points.
Bent comes short, turns out of this tackle, sets up Tim Cahill, another driving run from midfield, takes it to the right, draws the defenders in, passes it back to the left, and that's another cool finish from Osman.
Prior to the game, I'd said to the players that Liverpool had started to get closer to us, Bolton also, and that this was probably as important a result as we'd have to get this season. And there was a real air of confidence prior to the game, a real self-belief, and it was no surprise to me when the players went out and played so well, and they did probably our best away performance of the season.
Wonderful, wonderful performance against Aston Villa. When Evertonians like myself, who grew up on the School of Science, saw at Villa Park the School of Science.
Another 7 points were gained in February, and the Blues were reaching ever closer to securing 4th place. Blackburn had taken the wind out of Everton's sails following the Derby victory in December, and they did it again after the terrific display at Villa Park, only this time it would take a while for the Blues to bounce back.
Greening. That's a terrific ball. And it's led to a goal for Gira. And it's West Bromwich Albion with the somersaults of celebration. Win. Cahill. A bit lucky that it ran beyond Osman. Now bent, it swerved. Holt was going one way, found enough of his frame to keep it out as it looked as though it might be veering past him on his left-hand side. Robinson, and again, and West Bromwich Albion have won it.
We never set out to lose any games, but nevertheless we always knew that we weren't going to go through the season without losing games. We knew we weren't that good. We knew that we had a decent side, small squad, but you know, it would be impossible for us to go out and beat everybody.
In a season of success, 3 straight defeats was something of a shock to the Goodison system, and the sound of "I told you so" started ringing around. If ever a positive performance was needed, it was against Crystal Palace, and that is exactly what David Moyes' men produced, with a little bit of history thrown in for the bargain.
Crystal Palace have 2 men just hovering behind the wall as well. Kilban looking to put the wall off. Arteta! Well, he's had to wait a while for his first Everton goal, but you have to say justice maybe was done there. The technique was brilliant. The goalkeeper was beaten as soon as he'd struck it, and Everton have a goal, a priceless goal, on 7 minutes. It's Everton 1, Crystal Palace 0. And Everton, just in terms of the similarities between the season before last, I'm sure that heartbreaking finish where Everton just missed out on European qualification will be fresh in their mind. Here's Tim Cahill! And it's another magnificent start to a half, and this time it's just within a few minutes. Goalkeeper was actually quite well positioned. But he could not have stopped that in a million years. Kilban. He's done well. He's done very well, Kevin Kilban. It's a great cross, Cahill! Well, the Aussie takes the plaudits, but all the credit's got to go to Kevin Kilban. That was a fine cross. Dream of a header for any kind of player to get a chance of putting away in a game. And are we going to see a new Everton hero here? Gets a standing ovation. Gary Naismith goes off. Osman's away. Vaughan is been left a couple of yards as well. Kevin Kilban, can he tee up Vaughan here? Yes! Well, it's a dream of a debut for this youngster. It was almost written in the script. The roof came off when he came on. The roof has just almost fallen off when he scored. And everybody is up on Everton's bench. He's turned record breaker today. He's become a man overnight. He's taken Joe Royle's record and Wayne Rooney's record as well. And it's tied up this game at 4-0.
He's come in, probably came in earlier than anybody expected. You know, I think if
we had a bigger squad and we didn't have any injuries, I think James probably wouldn't have been near the first team this year, but his performances in the reserves, Andy Holden's looked at him and said, well, okay, maybe he deserves a chance to train with the first team. But since he's come in the first team scene, if you like, he's done exceptionally well.
2-0 up, he told me to go and warm up, and I didn't think I'd really get on because there was other people on the bench. I thought I'd get on before me, and then we scored the third, and then just after that he told me to get ready, and then he put me on.
He's a rare talent. Obviously he's a youngster, I've been there as well, and you know he needs to be protected, but what I will say is he's strong, he's quick, very strong, and he can finish, and he's got a lot of talent, and his future seems bright.
His training that week leading up to that game was terrific. He was scoring goals in training, he was messing around experienced central defenders in training, and it was noticeable. So for me, he was ready. It was just whether the right opportunity would come to put him in the team.
It hasn't really sunk in properly yet, all of it. It's just crazy.
Over 10 years had passed since Everton last defeated Manchester United in the Premiership. The hero of the day at Goodison Park was Duncan Ferguson. The stage was set again for the Big Scot.
Wayne Rooney tries the early one. Taking no chances, Nigel Martin. Carsley spins one in towards that 6-yard box. Good header from Yobo. Keeper's committed. It's been Everton so far, and Cahill has been at the very forefront of it. Yobo with a great towering header. Ferguson takes the adulation, and if it is to go to him, it's his 7th career goal against United. It was a teasing ball in. Just keep your eye on Rio Ferdinand. It was the header from Ferguson. It didn't get a touch, it was true. And that is a brilliant, brilliant goal for Everton. Scholes. Good move from United, this Ronaldo. Great effort, great save by Nigel Martin. Well, Gary Neville been sent off there. Well, I don't know quite what's happened there, but Gary Neville has been sent off. Well, that's why he's kicked the ball into the crowd, and it's a brave decision by Phil Dowd that he sent him off. Beatting the challenge on Keane, it's a fair one. Didn't get a shout, Roy Keane. And Scholes is in trouble here. And he's off. Frustration for Manchester United is boiled over. Well, it was a wild challenge on Kevin Kilban. Phil Dowd has another look at his watch. And that is the final whistle. And that could become a really famous win tonight. Duncan Ferguson is again the Everton hero when it comes to beating Manchester United. It hasn't happened for 10 years, but it has tonight, and wow, has it been worth waiting for.
It was a massive game for us. It was getting to that stage of the season where, you know, all points are vital, and everybody, you know, knew how hard the game it was going to be, and nobody really fancied us to win. Our record against them hadn't been great, and I think it'd been 10 years since we'd beaten them, so you know, it was a great night, a great result, and probably the best atmosphere, you know, I've encountered at Goodison.
The win against Man United, I thought, was absolutely tremendous. I mean, everybody was up for it. They deserved the win. They played as a team, and you know, I think that was a turning point.
And Martin Tyler, who I've worked with in Sky for 15 years, came to me and said, "You should have been there against Manchester United." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I've seen Everton for 30 years playing football as a commentator." He said, "I was there in '85 when you beat Bayern Munich at Goodison." And he says, "And since '85, that's 20 years, I've not seen Goodison anywhere near what it was like the day that Everton beat Manchester United with Duncan's late goal." He said, "I sat there and he said, this is Bayern Munich all over again." Now, that to me tells you everything about what the Everton fans have done this season for the club, what an important game that was, what a massive game that was in respect of what happened after that. And although I'd like to have been there and I wasn't, that must be the highlight.
Duncan giving that, what you'd call, I don't know, an out-of-body performance against Man U when he shed 13 years. You know, he became a teenager, and sensational performance.
The Blues were now firm favourites to clinch the vital 4th Champions League place in the Premiership. One huge factor in the season's success was the amount of points Duncan Ferguson had amassed from the bench. The country's most prolific sub was at it again against Birmingham.
Here's Emil Heskey for Birmingham. Early snapshot and an early goal. That is a cracking goal from Emil Heskey, and he has stunned Goodison Park in the opening 5 minutes. Osman. Hibbert offers his assistance now. Back in for Leon Osman. It's a good cross for Beattie. He was onside and he can't believe he's missed it. Away by Mario Melchot. Osman now. This is David Weir. Flicked on for Cahill. Cahill! Oh, it's saved one time. Bentcott put it in. Ferguson can! That goal be. And for the second time in 4 days, Duncan Ferguson delivers for Everton.
Well, certainly Mike Taylor doesn't deserve to be beaten this afternoon. He does his best here as Cahill one-on-one. He makes a great save, Taylor. Then it strikes him from Bent. But unfortunately for him, it falls to Duncan Ferguson on his famous left foot. And he makes absolutely no mistake.
Osman now. Leon Osman for Everton. Hibbert! The points are shared at Goodison Park.
These players this season have just given everything. There's a wonderful, wonderful phrase that I've been quoting for the last few months: defeat is not an option. And you know, the heads have dropped. It happens. You know, you can't win every game. You certainly can't if, you know, you've got the numbers in the squad that David has. But there's been a sense there of, you know what, we're going to do it.
But with only 6 points needed to be assured 4th place, the last place Everton needed to go was London.
Was that night marginally has the height advantage at 6'6" against 6'4", and there's Weir, and it's stabbed in by Kevin Kilban. The flag is up though, it will not count.
But I was worrying about Ferguson, wasn't they? But Davy Weir stepped in there. Yes, he was offside.
Boamorte, Rosinha, Radzinski, blocked off Weir, might come for John, and it does! It's Collins John for Fulham. He's done it against Everton, just as he did it against Chelsea last week. This is Pestoni. Took a deflection, Ferguson did well to get power on the header. It's in towards McBride. Oh, tremendous goal. What a header by the former Everton man against the club who decided not to sign him. It's 2-0 to Fulham. Ferguson's header for Carsley. What a great chance that was for Everton.
When you've got someone so strong and dominant in the air, they just play off of him. Attracts 2 defenders, Carsley's all on his own, and he drags it wide on the volley.
Kevin Kilban, first time ball on for McFadden. Not to get beyond Diop, and if he's adjudged to have pulled him back here, he could well be off. He is, for the second time in his Fulham career. Papa Bouba Diop is sent off, and Fulham now need to play the closing quarter of an hour with 10 men.
Well, he can't really have any complaints. McFadden suckers him into the challenge, puts it past him, and he drags him back.
It's a better delivery from McFadden. Ferguson. He can't believe that no one got a touch in. It was Carsley running across the ball.
Games don't come much bigger. In Everton's last home fixture against Newcastle, the Blues could secure 4th place by bettering Liverpool's result away to Arsenal the following day.
It's a blustery day on Merseyside. And Everton have got a free kick in a rather useful position early on. Cahill appended. Everton know that if they win today, they are almost in the Champions League. Kilban has run away. It's Arteta! And Gibbon got across to make the save, but Kilban's going to lob it back in. Ferguson and Yobo both there, and it's come off. Yobo. Genus. James Milner. Oh, little 1-2, and Milner! What a stunning save from Nigel Martin. Park.
A wonderful pacey delivery from Arteta, and then Zogby, you see, comes a yard inside off the post, and David Weir finds the gap.
And oh, Amiobi has lashed out, he's going to be sent off. How foolish, how ridiculous. Shola Amiobi has to walk. Marcus Bent, boom song out there with him. Bent's got it across. Bramble clears only as far as Carsley. Arteta surely goes for the hit. He's found Cahill, is onside. It's 2-0. It's Tim Cahill, one of Everton's many stars of this season, and they are dreaming of the Champions League at Goodison Park.
Arteta works it onto his left side, doesn't get a hold of that. Cahill had gone ahead. I think it's level when the ball is played. He can take 2 touches, get the head up and rifle it into the top corner.
That's that. Everton's last home game of the season ends with a victory that leaves them almost there, almost in that Champions League spot.
One of the most special teams, in the true sense of the word team, that I've ever seen in those blue shirts.
Well, after the Newcastle game, you know, they weren't exactly confirmed, but we knew that if the game the next day went for us, then we would, we would be in the Champions League. I think winning the Newcastle game, in my mind, I thought it would be very hard for us now not to have 4th spot.
So that was it. Everton had secured 4th place ahead of Liverpool. They finished above their big rivals for the first time in 18 years. 2 away defeats followed at Arsenal and Bolton, but nothing could dampen Blue spirits. It had been an incredible journey for Everton Football Club, from relegation candidates to Champions League qualifiers. There could be only one Manager of the Year.
To get a Champions League position is an absolutely outstanding achievement.
Obviously been great for everyone involved. We have finished 4th.
Out of adversity comes triumph sometimes, and I think that's what's happened this year.
To have something like this, it's just words can't explain.
It took a lot of hard work, and we're proud of ourselves.
They finished in the Champions League, and to double that joy, they finished above Liverpool.
To finish 4th in the league is just beyond anybody's dreams.
It's been fabulous, and you know, we're going to try and reflect back and look at all the good things we've done.
In our more sober moments, we Evertonians go, wow. We use other words as well, but what a miracle man that David Moyes is.
Well, this quite simply is every Evertonian's football fantasy. A night against the glittering Galacticos of Real Madrid in the Champions League. Everton really are in a kind of dreamland.